My name is Michaela Catranis, and I'm a composer and pianist from the US and live here in Berlin. When Juliet first asked me, we discussed her program, and the first piece of her program is an arrangement for cello by Hildegard von Bingen, O Virtus Sapientiae. And this piece opens with a line which says, O strength of wisdom, circling. And this was really inspiring to me, also the music of Hildegard von Bingen. It's something that I came across fairly recently and was quite fascinated by her as a composer and a spiritual leader, many different aspects. She was quite a powerful and progressive woman in her time. So I worked with the musical material from that piece for about a month, writing and rewriting until I decided I didn't like it. And then I came across this poem by Maria Rilke from the Schunnenbuch, and it starts out also with the symbol of the circle. I live my life in widening circles that reach out across the world. And this idea of the circle is something which really drew me. And it made me think about how our energy waxes and wanes in our life according to the different phases that we go through. And the impulse or necessity to expand and to grow, and this image of this sort of circle spiraling outwards, which is very personal to me because I became a mother quite recently, and this has been probably the most difficult experience of my life, most joyful, most difficult. And I think what really at the center of that, you know, in these times where you experience some kind of struggle, you ask yourself the question, what sparks you? What gives you joy? What gives you energy? And the last line of this poem by Rilke is really what moves me most. He asks the question, he says, I've been circling for thousands of years, and I still don't know. Am I a falcon? Am I a storm? Or am I a great song? For me, this is kind of the synthesis of those two things. It's a great song because, not because it's beautiful, but because it embraces this falcon in the storm, our high and our low, our ecstasy, our joys, but also our human struggle. And I think for me, this piece has been a process of kind of going through that phase, my own difficult phase as a mother, trying to redefine and understand my own identity, and that creative process of, which is also quite cyclical as well. And we met a few weeks ago to work on my initial sketches from the piece, and it was just so interesting because I had an idea of what I wanted to write and how Juliet would play and everything. It was all kind of a concept, a theoretical. And then when she came and played the music, and I got more of a sense of her personality and what moves her, what inspires her. And I knew immediately that this wasn't the path that I needed to kind of reroute and pivot. And so I showed her some of my older sketches, because I wrote about like 3 different pieces until I decided on the one that we worked on last time. And I could feel immediately this connection to her in the music. And it's just so wonderful to have the opportunity to work with a musician, because and how that guides you as a composer, because then it becomes something, I think, much more organic and in a way much more genuine, because you're working with a person, right? And you're connecting with somebody. And that's really what this is about as well, is connection. And I mean, one of the aspects is quite practical, and that is that Juliet wanted to be singing while she plays. And I don't think I've ever written for an instrumentalist who's also singing, and trying to work through that, that concept and how that interacts, and the piano as well. That's definitely one of the challenges for me. Yeah, in that process of finding your own voice as a creator. It's a difficult process. It's always continuing. It's a journey, but I do feel that I'm getting closer to it. And I really enjoy working with Juliet. I especially enjoyed going through those sketches today and feeling that we both really connected. And I think for me that's a sign that it's going in that direction. From Rainer Maria Rilke, I live my life in widening circles that reach out across the world. I may not complete this last one, but I give myself to it. I've been circling for thousands of years, and still I don't know. Am I a falcon, a storm, or a great song?